All-Star team, Lucho Acosta. Coach Rooney, at this time, I'll turn it over to you to make an opening statement.
Oh, really? Okay. Welcome.
3, 2, 1.
No, obviously welcome. It's obviously an exciting time for the league, for the players to be involved in the game against a very good Arsenal team. Of course, you want to win, but I think also events like tonight are all fun for the fans to enjoy as well, and the young children to watch some of the best players in the league at different challenges. So yeah, it's something I'm really looking forward to and excited, especially for the game tomorrow.
What did you make of Arsenal's football last season, Mikel Arteta's coaching, and with the additions they've made this summer, Rice, Timber and Havertz? Do you think they've made a strong claim to re-establish themselves as Manchester City's closest competitors?
Yeah, I thought they had a fantastic season last year, and I think it was probably a huge step for Arsenal, and I think the signings they've made have been really good signings for them to try and kick on and yeah, challenge Manchester City, because they'll be the favourites again to win the Premier League, and I think Liverpool will be better next season. Chelsea will be better. Hopefully Manchester United will be better as well. So yeah, but I think Arsenal have made some really good signings, and they will compete again.
In your managerial experience so far, in seeing what Mikel Arteta has done last season, is he someone you've studied as a young coach? Like, and if not, which are the young coaches that you like studying, and what do you think of the ceiling that he has as well as a manager?
Yeah, I think he's done incredible really to go in at Arsenal, and I think he won the FA Cup in his first season, and then really pushed Manchester City last season. Still, as a young coach, I think it's great to see, and yeah, I think everyone, of course, coaches have their own ways and their own styles, their own identities, and he's been fantastic, and I'm sure working with Guardiola helped him massively as well. So he's someone who that's where you want to get to as a young coach, into the top teams, obviously being English in the Premier League, and I'm going through the steps to try and do that, where Arteta's been through them steps and probably had the best training he could have got working alongside Guardiola.
Wayne, do you think, with all kind of the money that's been flying around in Saudi Arabia and some of the players that go there, do you think that the Saudi Pro League is like a threat or a competitor to MLS? And for Jesus, what are your thoughts on seeing a lot of, I guess, bigger named and some in-prime players going to the Saudi League?
If we could start with Coach.
Yeah, I think obviously there's quite a few players who have gone over to Saudi Arabia, and I think similar to MLS back in '96, it's a league which is trying to develop, and I don't know too much about it, if I'm being honest. But they're obviously putting a lot of money and a lot of effort into trying to come in and almost hijack some of the best players from around the world, and especially Europe at the minute. So yeah, I think it's a league which, if it stands the test of time, could grow, or it could do what China done 10 years ago and put big money in and then fade away again. So it's going to be really intriguing to see how it pans out.
You were part of so many really strong Manchester United teams, but if you look at the last 5 out of 6 seasons, Manchester City have won the league, and it's become almost normal for them to record 90 to 100 points now. Look at a team as strong as Arsenal, and they still managed to finish, comfortably second in the end. How far are we away from it becoming an unhealthy level of dominance in English football?
Well, like Scotland. No, I think Manchester City have certainly raised everything. I think, and you look at Liverpool for a couple of seasons, we're really challenging them, and I think they've set a challenge for Manchester United, for Arsenal, for Chelsea, for Liverpool, and for all the teams really. And I think Guardiola has been, for me, one of the best things which has happened to English football, not just in terms of the league, but in terms of actually the English national team, because I think the coaching he's given some of the young English players before with Sterling, John Stones, Kyle Walker, has really helped them develop as players, and them, I know they were senior players in England, set up to pass that knowledge on to some of the other players as well. So yeah, there's a challenge there. I think it goes in cycles. We've seen it, you know, throughout the years with Manchester United, Arsenal having dominance, Chelsea having dominance. Unfortunately, it's Manchester City's time, but I'm sure the teams who are going to be challenging will come back over the next few years, that's for sure.
Todd Bowley last year floated the idea of an All-Star game in the Premier League. You're now obviously managing one. What are your thoughts of an All-Star game in the Premier League?
Yeah, I don't think it'll work. I think everything over here is different. The culture is different. It's a huge game here, but I think in England there's the rivalry between teams, between the coaches will complain about players playing too much, and I just don't think it'll work in England. And over here it's part of this league. It's great to be a part of, but I think in England it wouldn't work.
Wayne, of course, we have the MLS All-Star game against Arsenal. The world is watching MLS right now. Messi is here, Busi, potentially Alba. I'm sure you're going to get many memories about those battles against Barcelona. But just how exciting is it to be a part of MLS right now and what the future looks like?
Yeah, I think it's the league is developing at a rapid pace, and I think getting Lionel Messi into the MLS is huge. He's a player who I've always, you know, loved playing against, watching play the game, and now I think it's going to be great for fans in the States to be able to watch him up close. And obviously with the Apple deal for the league, I think the league is developing huge, and getting Messi in, I think could be a real game changer.
For you, Wayne, just on Declan Rice, he's just signed for Arsenal, become the most expensive British player of all time. What impact do you think he can have on the club and on them trying to close that gap on Man City next season?
Yeah, I think he's a huge channel for Arsenal. I think he's a fantastic player, great mentality, young. Arsenal have got a player really who's at the top of his game, but I think he'll bring a great character into the dressing room, and I think he's a captain. I think he could be captain of Arsenal now. So I think he's a player who Arsenal needed, and they've certainly got a top player.
You had an exceptional record against Arsenal in your playing career, so I'm curious if you've passed along any tips and tricks from back in your playing days to your squad over the last couple of days. Thank you.
No, listen, I think I've played in the All-Star game, played a few years ago against Atletico Madrid, and the one thing you can never take away from a player is that pride and passion to play and try and win, and for the lads who are going to be playing in the game tomorrow, it's a game where they're coming up against one of the best teams in Europe. It's an opportunity for the players to show their ability against a top team, and yeah, there's not really tips I can give on how to play Arsenal and beat Arsenal as a coach, because I haven't done it yet. So if you ask me again on Thursday morning, then I might be able to tell you different.
You spoke earlier about Messi being a game changer. In what respect could you elaborate a little bit on that? Do you mean in terms of the quality of the league, the appeal to fans, and do you mean for attracting players to the league as well?
Yeah, I think in the exact same way Cristiano Ronaldo was in Saudi Arabia. I think the two of them are, you know, best players of all time, the two of them, and you see the impact Cristiano's had in going to Saudi Arabia, the players now who are going out there and follow. Of course, there's a lot of money as well, which has influence, but I think they're exactly the same with Messi. I think it was important for the league to get Messi in, to show that he can compete as well against, you know, a country and a environment which is putting a lot of money out there. So I think Messi comes, Busquets comes, you heard Suarez is coming, Jordi Alba's coming. So for Inter Miami, it's going to be very interesting to see how they fit all them in. But I think it's for the league, I think it's huge. It is.
You've been asked about Man City. It feels I should ask you about Man United. Just the Rashford signed a new deal today. Onana's coming in. Mount's arrived. It was a successful season. Are you more hopeful as a man with Man United in your heart that things are on the right track now?
Yeah, I think Ten Hag has done really well since he come in last season, and you can see he's trying to create a squad and a mentality with the signings he made last season, and also again what they're trying to do this year. And I think Marcus Rashford is a incredible talent. I'm delighted he's signed a new deal, and I think the next 5 years for him is going to be real important in his legacy, if you like, because he can score a lot of goals. But if he really wants to go to that level which, you know, Mbappe and Haaland are at, I think he has to be the man to get Manchester United back to winning trophies and league titles, and I hope he can do that.